Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moon Mage. Today's Pick a Moon tarot messages are connected to the new moon that is happening in Pisces on March 18th. This lunar phase brings in a lot of spiritual and intuitive energy. I do like to go in and give a brief overview about what these energies are likely to be, how they might be felt, how you can move through them in the best possible way. But if you're not interested, that's completely fine. Have a look at the intro or the thumbnail, look at those moons, and without overthinking it and using your intuition, feel into which one is speaking to you. And that will be your messages that are likely to be coming through or that need to be looked at the time of this lunar cycle. But for those of you that are interested in having an understanding about what this lunar cycle is likely to usher in by way of energies, thought patterns, etc., I'm going to touch on that. So this new moon in Pisces brings a deeply intuitive and emotional energy. It's inviting all of us to slow down a little bit, to reflect and reconnect with our inner world. Pisces is the dreamer of the zodiac, so this lunar cycle can feel rather like heightened intuition, creativity really starting to stir up, compassion showing up for you in ways that you haven't experienced it before, and a lot of spiritual awareness and connection. This energy can also bring powerful insights, moments where you have sudden clarity coming through, and you might even find yourself understanding things about yourself, your inner world on a deeper level, emotional patterns or situations in a way you didn't before. Pisces energy really speaks through subtlety. It brings in information and connection through our dreams, our intuition, and it's not so much about our logic at this time, which can cause a little bit of an issue with us because we can't exactly prove what we're feeling. We have feelings and we don't have facts. So that can create an illusion around things for us sometimes, or a lot of second guessing. So we need to be careful there, but we do want to be open and trusting what comes through at this time because we are intuitively going to be more heightened and more spiritually connected and aware. Because Pisces, can blur the lines and the boundaries between our emotions. And so our emotions tend to feel stronger than they normally would. And it can, again, bring about that energy of confusion, overwhelm, emotional overwhelm in particular. And this feeling of, okay, I have this clarity now. I don't know what to do with it. I think I'm going to run. I'm going to tuck and run and hide from this energy because I don't know what to do with it. So escapism comes to my mind. And that could surface, especially if we're faced with a challenge or a clarity that is hard to deal with, but it's showing up because it wants us to heal it at this time. It's really important that we do. And this is why I always include a surrender card in every new moon video, because it's a time, all new moons are a time to plant new seeds of intention, positive intention. But in order to grow something new, the old needs to be released. And so every new moon gives us the opportunity to do that. And with this one being in Pisces, we need to be very open to that transparency, is that right? That the universe and the spiritual wants to bring us transparency. I can't say the word, geez. And have enough faith, hope, and trust that what's coming through can be connected to in a tangible way that we can then maybe act on it, even if it's in small increments and we have to baby step our way through the weeds, so to speak. That's the big opportunity here with this lunar cycle. But again, this is why I always pull that surrender card, because sometimes we can't see or haven't had enough information or clarity to really see what we need to release, what we're really holding on to that keeps us stuck in particular patterns, causing us to stagnate and not move. Almost like our feet are in quicksand and we're like, why does this keep surfacing? Not realizing that has something to do with our energy. And this sort of lunar cycle really brings that stuff up to the surface. So it's not the easiest, but it is so powerful if we are open to looking at it, dealing with it, and then moving on. We really do open a new doorway to a new beginning. So be open to greater insights during this lunar phase. It's happening so that we can simply recognize where we're ready, what and where we're ready to let go. What we surrender now to will bring deeper clarity and illumination by the time we reach the full moon, when things often come fully into light. And that clarity that has begun now is so expanded and so clear that we have no other choice but to say, okay, I see the truth. I'm aware. Where do I go from here? What's my next step? It's the big opportunity that follows this new moon energy. So take a moment now, if you stayed with me, to listen to what these energies are bringing in. Listen to your intuition, center yourself without overthinking it. Look at which moon is speaking to you, and I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. You were attracted to that first moon. I did go ahead and pull the overarching energies just to save some time. And I also forgot to mention that I have a new moon in Pisces meditation. It's short to help everyone connect in. That's the intention, to the best energies and prospects that this new moon wants to bring in. If you're interested, you can have a look at that. So we've got Yang moon, which is masculine energy, and it says strength. So we're likely being guided into finding our strength in some way, shape, or form under this lunation. Moving on and letting go. That makes so much sense with this lunar cycle. And we're challenged here to find the strength, to find freedom, to be understanding and clear about what the direction is that we need to take to find said freedom, to really move on and let go and invite a new beginning to come in. Yeah. Okay. In emotional desert, it's the number 11. I'm noticing that right away. Inactivity and isolation. So this could be a part of the equation here that's difficult for you guys. Perhaps you've been in retreat mode, in that feeling of an emotional desert. I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling stuck and I'm not sure how to get myself out of this energy or how to even begin to release. I feel that this new moon is going to bring you the opportunity to understand yourself better, your emotions better, so that you can kind of clear the decks, so to speak, and begin starting new, moving out of difficulty, essentially. So some of you may need to step back and allow yourself to be in that emotional desert, to reflect, to understand things better. But for others, I think this is what's going to help get you out of it and removed, essentially, right? Because that number 11 always makes me think of a doorway. Like there's an opportunity showing up to get out of this feeling of isolation, inactivity, not really knowing what to do. Universe. The universe is guiding you towards that special someone. Ooh, just let everything take its course. Nice. So perhaps some of you have been having a really difficult time putting yourself out there again in the dating world. Maybe there's a lack of trust, or you don't even know how to begin to put yourself back out there rather. You need to find strength within yourself, really detaching from old stories and narratives about love, about what happened, about your fears will bring you that freedom to actually feel like you're ready to be seen again, no longer inactive and isolated. The universe has your back here. And it says it's guiding you towards that special someone. Just let everything take its course. It's almost like there's not a lot you need to push in and do other than reflect and be self-aware enough to understand when you might be emotionally freezing yourself up or sort of moving through things in your life and in the situation out of fear rather than the strength and power within yourself, out of your power, essentially. Letting those stories and narratives from the past hold you back or hold you hostage from saying yes to something really beautiful that wants to show up for you by way of love and connection. Okay, let's pull a surrender card here for you guys. I almost feel like for you guys, there's this pattern that you're probably holding on to, likely one born of fear, emotional irregulation due to pain from the past, due to hardships in love and relationship, probably where you were burned in some kind of way. And so I wonder if that must be the card. I'm thinking maybe by way of trust, feeling like you can't trust people, maybe even yourself. Surrender, procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. And you've got the universe that's trying to guide you towards someone. And so let me just say too, for others, if it's not a person that's meant to be a romantic partner, for others, it could be towards a person that leads you on a path of passion and purpose. But we're dragging our feet, right? We're stuck in the emotional desert. We're not doing anything. We're feeling very isolated. There's a pattern that needs to get unstuck. And we're being asked under this lunation to have the strength and fortitude to see what that pattern is and start to unravel it, because it's preparing you. It's preparing you for this connection to happen, because it's going to help you get somewhere. It's going to have you seeing success and the new start that you deserve. Yeah, now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Yes. Right. And it doesn't have to be big actions, like baby step your way. Baby step your way towards this thing. But I do think that for you guys, starting with what's the pattern, what's the thought pattern, the narrative that I'm holding on to that makes me feel like I've got to emotionally isolate myself for fear that where am I overprotecting myself? I think that's the question to ask yourself under this lunation. And because it's happening in Pisces, you are very, very likely to receive an answer. It's sort of like this lunation really brings in massive spiritual connection where we're being helped a lot, that universal energy. So take advantage of it, message one. And you were attracted to the green moon, which is the color of healing. Archangel Raphael is connected to green. It's our heart chakra. So I feel like that's an area where we've got some blocks here and it's time to release them. Sort of like let go and let God, surrender. Protection. Yeah. And there's a deer back there too, which I noticed right away. It's in the shadows, but that's that connection. That's that spiritual connection. Deers bring in their softness and their gentleness. So they're open-hearted, which is something that we can see here that needs to be sorted out for you guys that chose this message. But also those antlers going up to the heavens and receiving, you will. And I feel like Spirit really wants to know that you're safe and protected to move forward towards someone, to say yes to yourself, to trust that you're in a new cycle where things are starting to go your way now. Oh my gosh, trust. Not much I need to say there. And it says Crystal Cave. Trust. Yeah. Trust yourself. You are safe. You are protected. Trust what's being sent your way. I do feel very strongly that the fears are coming from somewhere for you guys. It's not like you made this up. You have some hardship and traumas from the past, but making peace with them, letting them go, and saying the only way to have true joy, fulfillment, and success in love or otherwise, like on in your purpose, following your path of purpose, is to let go of those things because they just act as a big block. Oh my gosh, letting go. Letting go. Yep. And that's the strength that you're being asked to lean into, the strength to let go. Moving on, letting go. Really strong message for you guys. There's not really much I need to say about that. Spirit guardian of autumn, Crystal Cave, and guardians of the land. So there's also a lot of earthy energy here. I suspect that maybe some of you are spending a lot of time up in your mind. So maybe doing some grounding and then a heart activation or a heart clearing, asking for help to disconnect from what's been and really move forward with trust. Really good idea for you guys at this time, especially under this lunar energy. So a couple of days before this new moon and a couple of days after, and of course the day of, I think would be a really powerful time for you guys to do some meditation. Wolf spirit and family. Interesting too, because with the universe is guiding you towards that special someone. And then for others where this is leading you to a sort of a passion, being on your path of purpose, it's sort of like feels like soul, family, tribe wanting to come in. And for others where this is romantic, and it definitely does feel like that for a lot of you, this is somebody who you're likely to create a family with. And we can survive as a lone wolf, which is what I think a lot of you have been doing, or we can survive in a pack, and you're being offered the opportunity to really connect to that pack, that person, that passion, the soul tribe, or create it with this person. I think for some of you, it's that big. It feels that big for you guys. Bluebird spirit and happiness. Yeah, that's where this is leading you, to your ultimate happiness, to what you truly want, what your heart and your soul knows that you're ready for and that you deserve, even if your mind and your ego self, that, the shadowy aspects are telling you otherwise because of what's been. And it is our ego's job to protect us from anything that they perceive as new and untrustworthy. So we need to find a way to speak to our egos and say, I'm ready to unlock the next level of my life, to be connected to my person, to find my soul tribe, my path, my person, my purpose, rather. I can't talk. These cards don't want to stay up. There we go. All right. I'm just going to pull a few regular tarot cards here to get a broader picture From my beautiful message ones. This is feeling quite lovely and light and very, like a very positive opportunity to finally release the old, let go of the old story, the old pain, and say yes to your new start. And, you know, when we're thinking about this, we need to add to the equation that there's the spring equinox, which also opens the door to something new that gets us ready for that spring kind of energy. And I feel like that's definitely for you guys. Lots of new things being shipped your way. And for whatever reason, I keep thinking for you guys over the next few months, you're going to see a lot of shifts and changes for the positive. So long as we do the work up here, that's emotionally more heavy. Okay, that card. All right. King of Wands in the reverse. That's that fiery, that's strength, essentially. That's the epitome of powerful yang energy. I am powerful. I'm creative. I'm inspired. I go after what I want. I trust myself. I have power and autonomy and strength to move forward with my inspiration, with my heart open, but it's in the reverse. So this is a big thing that we need to be working on right now here for my message ones. I think it's just a reiteration. Ooh, changes incoming, the Tower. And don't be scared to see this. I think this is actually quite positive for you. If we can find the strength to turn this energy around, let go, trust, know that you're safe and protected, that the tides are turning in your favor at this time, you're going to want this Tower moment. You want that big shift and change, and because it feels beautiful. And like, finally. And then look where we get. We went from one king in the reverse, which is the fire king, right? So that's passion, power, purpose, believing in our power, right? We already have seen it. That's been something that's been difficult for you. But we're moving into this King of Pentacles energy. Strong, empowered, sitting pretty. You got a firm foundation underneath you. You're trusting it, and you know everything that you need and all that you want will be provided for you. It's like sitting... It's just sitting in peace and trust and faith. It's very earthy too, which we have a lot of earth energy in here for you guys as well. And there's that wolf, right? And we see that wolf here, family. Everything you want, everything you need wants to be shipped your way. Your Tower moment is coming, but this is sort of a message of you've got to meet it halfway. We've got to look at where that fire's been snuffed out. The part where we've leached out our power, where we're not trusting our strength to move through, to say yes to, and moving through the fears. Big opportunities coming for you guys. Most definitely. And you know, I think that we can always talk ourselves out of good things and under the guise of I'm not ready because, but I think that's just a tactic our ego uses to keep us small and safe and never really doing anything, right? Not evolving. But you're ready. You're more ready than you are giving yourself credit for. Just going to unstick rather these harder emotional energies that have been keeping you feeling like you lack something, or you can't let go, or you can't move on. You can. You're ready. We've got the Tower. Balance. Difference is a necessary part of human evolution, and everything in life is comprised of opposites, which together make life whole. If you light a candle in a room already flooded with light, the light of your candle would be indistinguishable from the light which already exists. Because of darkness, we are able to perceive light. Both are necessary. Yang, right? And that's the side of energy that you've been having a harder time with, which is the dark piece. There's yin and yang, right? The light and the dark, having difficulty dealing with those dark, shadowy aspects, finding your way through it. And I kind of love that it says, because of darkness, we are able to perceive light. Both are necessary. So yes, we're needing to move through the shadowy energy. We need to start to make peace with it and unstick it, because the universe is preparing you for your person or your soul tribe. And you're going to feel so much more yourself and soul connected when you allow this detachment to happen from the negative, darker energy. And because it's leached out your power too, it's made you feel less than in some way or disempowered. And you're far more powerful than you've been giving yourself credit for, message one. Yeah, finding your way through that balance. And it is the yang side of you that is needing the healing at this time, it seems here in your messaging, especially with those two kings there too, right? All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you have an amazing new moon in Pisces experience and day, and find your way back to this beautiful balance and healing, because it's really going to open up a new doorway for you guys that feels so positive, so connected, and for some very romantic, leading you to some kind of family energy, and for others, soul tribe on your path of purpose. Okay, I'm going to leave that there and stop talking. I hope all you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. You guys were attracted to the red moon. I did go ahead and pull the overarching energies to save a little time in the video. And I also forgot to mention in my intro that I have a new moon in Pisces meditation out as well. If you're interested, the intention behind that is to just connect into the more positive aspects of this lunar cycle. So here we go. We've got, moon memories and the past. Okay. So something about the past could resurface under this lunation. And if it's coming up, there's a reason for it. It might be something that you need to disconnect from, or it might bring about a sense of clarity for you about an emotional habit, a pattern, something that you might even need to reconnect to, but it's showing up for a reason. The past is not coming back to haunt you. It's coming back to reveal something, it feels like, for you guys. All right. And there it is. Prophets and ancient seers, decisions and predictive guidance. I really feel like this is connected to this moon memories, the past energy, something that you start to see differently or understand differently, brings in something profound, an insight, something that you didn't notice before. And it's coming from something much higher, something spiritual that's making you notice this thing again or seeing it in a different way. So be open to this, because it's coming on the side of challenge. So this could mean that a lot of you have been feeling more indecisive lately, like you're not really sure what to do. You're spinning your wheels in some area of your life. Be open to this showing up for you. Maybe even be willing to do meditations that help you connect to memories that might be really useful for you at this time. It feels important for you guys. Archangel Phanuel. Hope, optimism, and new beginnings. Yeah, that's what this is leading you to, right? This is your advice card from Spirit, to stay in hope, optimism, and trust that the new beginning that has felt like it's been eluding you is coming, but we need to connect to some sort of memory from the past. It's coming from something much higher, much bigger than you. And it's showing you this thing again for a reason. There's some sort of connection, enlightenment, understanding. And then I think it also then says, then you must trust once it's come through for you, which is easier said than done, I know, because it's more of a feeling. It's not necessarily a fact, but I do want to say, trust what comes through. I really feel like it's going to be very important for you guys. I know I just keep saying the same thing, but recognition. The universe will help you recognize signs and miracles. Well, there you go. Decisions and predictive guidance. The universe will help you recognize signs and miracles. Stay really open under this lunation. I think these are going to be subtle for some of you. And if you need them to be louder to really trust them, ask for them to be louder, or to ask for them to send you the sign 3 times. If this is the real message I'm meant to receive, if this is the understanding and the wisdom that I've needed to get things moving for myself again, send it to me 3 times so that I can really, really affirm this is true for me and trust it more and go for it. Yeah. The universe will help you. Ask for the help. Ask for the predictive guidance. I think some of you have already connected to something and you're just not trusting it. And for those of you that relate to that, this is your sign that, yeah, you've connected to the right thing. You've seen something clearly. You have the understanding that you need. And now it's time to move forward with it. Let's pull a surrender card here for you guys. But yes, this energy is going to be shipped your way to help you feel more decisive, like more like that you can trust what's coming through, essentially. Your eureka moment is coming, it feels like. Surrender defensiveness. Okay. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate is a more empowered way. Stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Okay, so maybe some of you have been having trouble with partnership or family members or groups of people. And, I think defensiveness comes from stuff in our childhood. I really do believe that. I think when we're always ready to defend ourselves, it's because we probably always had to, because we felt like we weren't heard or listened to, or we felt small and unseen. And so we kind of always show up in our power, but our power is a little bit misplaced. So something to consider with this energy. Be willing to be in the position of, I'm listening to understand, I'm not listening to defend. Even if it means maybe you have to repeat something back to someone. So what I'm hearing you saying is this, or this is how I'm perceiving what you're telling me. Is that right? To get clarification, as opposed to just defending your stance on something. I feel like it will really help unstick something for you guys and get that ball rolling again. Okay, let's pull some more cards. All right. Yeah, I really believe that defensiveness and stubbornness and digging our heels in comes from a place for most of us from when we were younger. And we felt like what we wanted, what we thought was never chosen, never heard, never listened to. And so we operate from that pattern, feeling like that's always going to be the case. But I feel like that's not going to be the truth for you in whatever the situation is. And it could be partnership for some of you because we have a couple there. Or just situations where there's a bunch of people involved. Things aren't going the way that you'd hoped. And now we're ready to kind of like fight the good fight. But doing it from a place of understanding is going to be really beneficial. And you're about to get a lot more clarity come through the subtle realms, through the universe, to help you move this situation forward. As it says, the universe will help you recognize signs and miracles. Raven spirit truth. Yep, you have a truth wanting to come through, and it's going to come through. Trust, know, believe, receive. And it's so weird that I'm saying it like that, but that's what was going through my head. Trust, know, like trust the inner knowing, believe it, and receive it. I wonder if some of you might even start seeing ravens and crows. Lots of spiritual energy coming in for you guys. Thicket of thorns, uncertainty, right? This is where you've been. And I feel like a lot of my message to choosers here, I think you really hate that feeling of uncertainty. Also a thing that often comes from childhood, right? When things were not necessarily predictable and there weren't positive routines that made a person feel safe. Right? It was always, I don't know what crazy things around the corner. So I prefer certainty, something to look at and to work on. Acceptance. Yeah. Right now is where I'm meant to be because there's something profound in it. There's something powerful. There's truths about to be revealed. I trust where I am and I don't need to push on anything. I can find my way to comfort in the uncertainty, knowing that something is going to be shipped my way to help unstick a situation. That's what it feels like for you guys. Right? It's that connection to the past. We've got starry night and acceptance, moon memories, decisions and predictive guidance through prophets and ancient seers, truth with Raven, which is highly spiritual. It's all connected to this energy of uncertainty. So I'd like throw down your sword, surrender to spiritual energy, and you will receive. Ask and you shall receive. Activation. Yep. Things will start to get going again. Being activated. And there's that swan down there too. Something beautiful coming through. An activation. Your message feels very deep, spiritually deep. More than I think you realize. You're probably dealing with all the surface level, mundane, day-to-day things that feel like anything but spiritual. This is going to shift. There's an opportunity to really connect in all around you that's going to activate something. And we've got Spirit Guardian of Spring. That spring energy coming in really hot and heavy. for I think all of us, but for you especially here, message 2. Hope springs eternal, springing into something new. It feels like that. Aspen spirit and courage. Yeah. And then you've got all these beautiful blue butterflies there. Transformation and change. Yeah, but we have to stay in our power and our courage in a softer way, I think, here for my message 2s. Yeah. I feel like there's something I need to say and I'm missing it. And this happens to me every so often when I do these, but I'll come back to it because it's not popping up. On the bottom, we have transcending. Yeah. Transcending difficulty, coming out of it, being activated, finding the courage to accept where we are in the uncertainty, because we know that the truth is going to come through. If we kind of throw down our sword and shield, we surrender that defensiveness and the universe brings you the answers. That's the message really in a nutshell for you guys. The universe will help you recognize signs and miracles. I'm going to pull a few tarot cards here to get a broader picture, but I feel like it's pretty clear here for you guys. But really be open to connecting something to the past. Something that happened, something that someone did, could be an event, a situation, whatever it is. If you start thinking about it, trust it. Trust it, what comes through, and lean into it, because there's something in that messaging, in that understanding for you. I think that absolutely helps to activate your situation in a positive way forward. Now we have the first card that fell out here. Nice. King of Pentacles. This is where you're this is where you're headed. This is the direction that you have the ability and opportunity to go towards. So we're looking at no longer feeling uncertain, structured. Everything is as it should be. Money is coming in for a lot of you. Reward, I think, as well. Security, stability, all is well. And feeling really balanced in that again. Tower moment. Wow, I shuffled these, but these cards kind of came out in message 1 as well. Yeah, change. Where things have been stuck and stagnant, change is upon you. It starts here, though. It starts with that surrendering defensiveness, not pushing too hard, trying to open ourselves more spiritually to make these connections and receive these answers from the universe, and then we get moving again. That tower moment being a good thing. Big changes are on the way. Nine of Pentacles. Wow. So you've got King of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles, and in the center you've got the Tower. So these energies hinge upon allowing this change to happen and unfold naturally without your force or without you pushing, especially because we do need to receive some wisdom, some higher guidance, some connection to things that will help move the situation and get you into that receiving energy of 9 of Pentacles. Your ship's finally coming in. Hard work paying off, knowing exactly what to do. That's where you're headed, message 2. This feels quite good for you guys. I keep thinking about victory too, like you're going to have that feeling of victory. Ooh, look at the bottom, the Lovers. And then we've got that image of the past and 2 people on a beach. So some of you might be having difficulty with a partner. I don't think this is going to be true for all of you. I think more metaphorically, it's the yin-yang energy coming in really hot under this Pisces lunation of dark and light, shadow and light, dealing with it. But I think for some of you, it is more literal. This is going to unstick itself. There's a positive opportunity to bring harmony and balance back to a partnership of some sort, and for others where your dark and your light are no longer at odds with each other. Ooh. All right. You know what's funny too? I don't know why, but I keep hearing that song, I'm Leaving on a Jet Plane. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe some of you are thinking about taking a vacation or going somewhere for that's like travel. that could be a thing for some of you. It could also just be the metaphor of things are about to massively shift and change, where you're really moving out of that darker, heavier energy and into something better. But I'm hearing that song, so I thought I would say it. Maybe some of you needed to know that, yes, you will take that vacation. I don't know. Or maybe there was something during a vacation that you're going to connect to that comes through loud and clear, and it brings in some sort of profound clarity. Strange. Expression. Express how you feel clearly, lovingly, and honestly without fear or judgment. Say it exactly like it is. All will be resolved when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing, right? So we are allowing our hearts to speak, to lead, rather than our fear, our anger, our frustration, which is defensiveness, right? Speaking clearly from our heart empowers your situation and unsticks it a lot quicker as well. As it says, trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concern. The universe really has your back right now. I really want you to notice the signs and the directions that they're showing you to take, and the wisdom that they're bringing through, and being like, trust that thought, follow it. But it starts with you, right? Expressing from the heart, from your truth, from your soul, essentially. And for some of you, that could be in relationship and connection, helping that your partner or the other people involved really understand you better. It's sort of like seeing defenses crumble. That's what I keep seeing as well for you guys. Either way, it's time for honest, heartfelt expression. All right. I don't think there's anything else I need to touch on here, so I am going to leave that there. I hope all of you have a beautiful new moon in Pisces and a fantastic day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. So I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies to save a bit of time in your video, but we are going to look at them together. And I also forgot to mention in my intro that I have a new moon meditation connected to the new moon in Pisces, with the intention of connecting into the best aspects of it. If you're interested, you can have a look at that. But let's look at your cards here. Moonlight and Enchanted. Ooh, which is usually like a very mystical spiritual experience that could be heading your way. Something magical, something enchanted that almost doesn't feel real. So this could be your heads up to stay open to this kind of energy coming your way. Like behind the scenes magic. Okay, we've got this in the reverse, and it says thought vibrations. Okay, upright, resonant choices and signature signals. So we might be needing to watch our thoughts right now. Maybe a lot of you are having a hard time removing yourself from a negative narrative, worries, fears, anxieties, and swirling around in your head, making it hard for you to drop down into your heart or be really present or spiritually open. Also, because it's saying resonant choices and signature signals, we might be ignoring an idea that we should be following. Right, our thought vibrations aren't a match for what spirit and the universe is trying to connect us to. So we need to be watching our thoughts right now, being mindful of the negative story that they might be telling us, or fear-based thoughts. Because that signature signal, I feel like some of you are about to receive like that spiritual signal saying, yes, it's this, it's that. It might scare you a little bit, and it might even feel foreign to you, but it's actually what's best for you. But if we're in that negative thought pattern, it can be easily dismissed or let go of. So be mindful of that. Surrender freedom from time constraints, letting go of urgency. Okay. You know what's funny? I'm really noticing that number 17 there. That could be an important number for some of you, or a date. Maybe you start seeing it on the clock, but 17 is really standing out to me, oddly enough. Letting go of urgency, surrender freedom from time constraints. And this is direct advice from spirit. It's basically suggesting that you don't have to make any fast, furious, or hasty decisions. If you're feeling like you're in a pressure cooker like you have to, and your thoughts are telling you, oh my gosh, I have to choose, I have to decide, you don't. Your thought vibrations need to be more aligned with your spirit, your soul, and what the universe is trying to send you. There's something magical wanting to be shipped your way. So if you can breathe out a little bit, relax your energy in that feeling of, I have to choose that hurriedness, you'll be in a much better position. And I feel like Spirit's saying you really can, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. Yeah. It feels like time's on your side. Oh my gosh. It says time. Let time forget those scars. Okay. This might be what trips you up, why your thoughts get so scattered and all over the place, and why you fear maybe not making quick decisions or having to make a decision that you can't predict. Fear of those magical things that you can't prove but feel better rather than just maybe look better on paper kind of energy. Let time forget those scars. Surrender freedom from time constraints. This is sort of suggesting you need a little bit more time. There's some magic being worked behind the scenes for you right now, something enchanted, something beautiful that wants to come through. But if you're about to make a decision based in fear or worry or anxiety, maybe this could have to do with money or, an opportunity that maybe doesn't feel the best for you, but you feel like you don't have a choice to take it. I feel like your message is that's not true for you. You can relax, you can breathe out, you can take more time with this and really connect in to your heart and soul because it's got something to say. There's an operation system, a pattern that you're operating from where there's scars and wounds and emotional heaviness and some baggage there that needs to be released. And I think it's so that it can prepare you to be more soul-centered, more connected to what's true for you, more trusting of your internal nudges, intuition, and the little bits of spiritual energy that's trying to come through for you at this time. So you can trust it more, essentially. All right, let's pull some more cards. Oh, you know what? I'm going to pull a surrender card here first. Jeez. What song I'm hearing is Time After Time. I think it's Cyndi Lauper, right? How does the lyrics go? If you're lost, I will catch you. We'll be waiting. I feel like your spirit team's trying to say that to you. It's trying to send you that message. If you're lost, I will catch you. I will be waiting. I think those are the lyrics. Not verbatim. Don't quote me, but it's something to that effect of, I feel like Spirit's trying to say, we've got you. We've got you covered. Trust us. Lean on us. We want to help. Surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Yes, that sense of urgency. I have to now. Time is of the essence. It sort of feels like a fallacy here for a lot of you. And we're feeling really frustrated and pressured into having to choose things. And you don't want to choose less than what you deserve or pick a direction or an opportunity that in some part of your body doesn't feel quite right. We're feeling frustrated and unsure of what to do. This is that energy of your spirit team is available. They want to send you something magical, information. It's going to come through subtly. So as I always say, you have to try to be open to this. Allow the gateway to be open, essentially. Yeah, because we need to heal some stuff here from the past. Because I feel like it's directly connected to why we get frustrated here. As it says, frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center, and regroup so that you can choose from calm and peace rather than fear and anxiousness and urgency. Because you want to be resonating with these choices that you're going to be faced with from a heart-centered place, from your soul self, not from worry, fear, ego, anxiety. I do feel like for a lot of my messages, there's something magical and enchanted behind the scenes that's being woven that you can't see. Expansion. Nice. Spirit guardian of summer. And I think that this is a little bit of a heads up too, that by the time you get to the summer, your life looks completely and vastly different from what it does right now. There's massive expansion in your life. This could look like with people, finances as well, because you've got the tree bearing fruit there. Something expands where you've been putting time, work, effort. It could be an expansion of love. It could be an expansion of finances, success, but summertime. Air, spirit, and knowledge. Noticing the number 1 there too. Number 1, new beginnings. Something wants to expand through that mind, right? Where it's been difficult with our thought vibrations. There's a block here. So we need to really be looking at the knowledge wants to come through. Spirit's trying to ship you some information, some wisdom and understanding. Creating space for that. Super important for you guys right now. And under this Pisces lunation, no better time to receive the information. Reflecting, pool, and stillness. Well, there it is, right? Taking time for stillness, surrendering urgency. You don't have to make any fast and furious decisions right now. And in fact, I feel like what's recommended is the opposite. I'm also noticing the number 33 now. So that's ascended masters and creativity. 3s. I'm feeling ascended masters for you guys though. So if you have a particular thing that would require an expertise in some field, and you're not sure, I feel like a call in an ascended master. It could be somebody who passed on, who was very, very good at this thing that you're doing, creating. Even if it was like an archangel connected to love, let's say, that has the expertise of how to navigate those kinds of energies, call them in right now. I feel like they want to show up for you. All right. Freedom, eagle spirit. Yeah. Wanting to soar and fly, not feeling so bogged down with having to be making these hard decisions and feeling scattered. You have the ability to unlock yourself from this energy and fly free, like the eagle spirit. Freedom wants to be shipped your way, most definitely. Truth. Lots of air energy. Air, and we've got this woman on a boat, but it looks like a swan. I think birds are going to be speaking really loud to you. We've got eagle spirit and now raven spirit. Truth. Something in this enchantment energy, something where if we step back and we go into that reflecting pool energy of stillness, we're going to receive answers that lead to freedom. But we have to be willing to say, even though I can't prove it or see how it's going to all work out just yet, I know this is true for me. It feels good. I'm trusting it. I'm going to move towards it. I feel like for some of you, this could look like letting, saying no to a particular offering or opportunity because somewhere in your body you recognize it doesn't feel quite right, but it does look good on paper. But something truthful is coming through. Spirit's speaking really loud. We're operating from a system that is in fear and lack, I think, for some of you, like a lack mentality. We need to get realigned with choices that resonate with our soul. And this is coming through for you, right? And when it does, it brings the opportunity for expansion and being very connected to your heart, your soul, and what's true for you. I wonder if some of you are air signs. Let me know in the comments. Are some of you air signs? I do find air signs to be very intelligent, very intellectual, very smart. But the darker side of that is overthinking, overanalyzing, rather than dropping into feeling. Right? And I think that's the big ask for you guys right now. Drop down to your heart space. All right, let's pull a few tarot cards here. My beautiful message threes. There it is, dropping into your heart space. Queen of Cups. Emotionally receiving what's true, feeling it through, understanding on a soul level rather than just in the mind, in your head, logically speaking. This is your intuition wants to say something. It has a lot to say. There's magic, there's beauty, there's wisdom here, but we have to be willing to drop the mental energy and drop down into our heart. And I feel like because Queen of Cups is showing up like this, upright, you will. You will. It's just saying yes to it. I trust, I believe, I receive. Page of Pentacles in reverse. And that's that not knowing. I haven't received the answer yet because I need to go into reflecting pool energy. Something's being woven behind the scenes. Message not received. I'm not sure what to do yet. And that's that sense of urgency, like feeling like I can't be in this patience of waiting for that answer to come through, of knowing what to do. I just have to decide. But I think this is just a reiteration that you don't. To be patient with yourself. Temperance. Yeah, there's that balancing energy. It's been showing up in all the messaging in one way, shape, or form. Balancing our yin yang, our mental and emotional energy. And I think for you guys, it's about allowing your yin energy, that feminine, intuitive, spiritually connected, creative, nurturing energy to speak much louder right now. I think it's your mind and your mental energy that's too loud right now, drowning out the noise of spirit. And this is what you want to be disconnecting from for a little bit of time here, especially under this lunation, because it's loud. It's got a lot to say. It wants to show you how to heal some things out and bring yourself back into balance again. Because I do feel like for some of you, there's this heads up energy of there's something that's been offered and it's not the best offering or opportunity for you. There's something better being woven behind the scenes that's more connected to you in a heart and soul way. But we may say no to it for fear that, like, we're in that urgency energy. We're frustrated. We feel like we have to. And I feel like your whole message is that you don't. You know what? On the bottom too is the Ace of Wands, seeing things clearly, inspired, fired up again. That creative spark, that feminine energy being lit up. I see the truth. I have the inspiration. I have the idea. And that's what I want to go with. That's what I'm going to trust and lean in on. All right, let's cap this off with a final message here from Spirit. Okay, well, acceptance. There is nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are. Regardless of any faults you may perceive you have, you are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. Oof, this makes me emotional because we've got let time forget those scars. Some of you have believed and leaned into a negative storyline about yourself that maybe somebody else initiated, or they helped to create this thought pattern about yourself of being less than or unworthy. And it's time to let that go because you're operating from a system of smallness. And you're not. You're beautiful just as you are. There's nothing you need to change about yourself. And once we connect to that truth, you will start choosing from a heart and soul level. And this universe is aligning everything up so that you do with that enchantment, magical energy. See the magic in yourself. Start there. I love that message for you guys. I love that first line. There's nothing about you that you need to fix. There isn't. You are perfect just as you are. Acceptance. Yeah. That is likely part of those thought vibrations that you have too. Is I can't because I'm not good enough, because I'm not smart enough, because and so we're always playing small. It is time to unstick that narrative. And this lunation is bringing in the opportunity to do just that. But we got to drop down into our hearts. We got to surrender frustration and urgency to get ourselves there. All right, I am going to leave that there, and I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful new moon in Pisces and a fantastic day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. You guys chose the gold moon, and I did go ahead and pull some main overarching energies to save a bit of time in the video. And I also forgot to mention that I have a new moon in Pisces meditation out as well. If you're interested, you could have a look at that. But let's look at your cards. Moon, maybe, intuition. Okay, so because it says moon, maybe, are we listening to our intuition? I feel like for a lot of you, this kind of card shows up when we've had intuitive connection, but we're not maybe trusting it or listening to it. And So if that's not you, something wants to come through, something intuitive, something that is true for you or is providing some form of clarity and wisdom. And this is your heads up that it's not necessarily a maybe. It is intuitive guidance. Of course, you have the free will to choose yes or no, but I think there might be a little bit of discrepancy from you thinking, I don't know if I should say yes to that, or I don't know if that's true for me. I don't know if I should lean into this. I feel like the answer to that is yes, but of course you have the right to choose. I also think for others, you've received something and you're maybe thinking on it a lot, maybe even overthinking a little bit, but we'll see what else is here. Releasing difficulty up from the depths. Yeah. Being faced with choices and decisions where you were stuck or feeling like you're in the dark, your intuition is going to be speaking really loud. Whether you choose to trust it and move up from the depths of that darkness, believing that what you've received is right and accurate and true for you, is up to you. But the opportunity to release that difficulty, no longer feeling confused, unclear, or stuck, is going to be showing up for you. But this is coming in the sided position. So it does make me think like a lot of you have received something, an understanding, a clarity that you're not sure about or necessarily trusting. And for others, it's coming, and it is the opportunity that would help you release this difficulty and start moving forward again. Oh my gosh. Many choices and uncertainty, confusion. Wowzers. Okay. This lunation is bringing you the opportunity to release this difficulty, but we are seeing a clear pattern here that for a lot of you, there's still going to be a little bit of distrust and uncertainty around it. I don't know if this is right. I don't know. Letting yourself kind of get too thinky about it, creating that sense of confusion. And Piscean energy can absolutely do that if we allow it to. You have choices coming your way. There is that level of uncertainty, not wanting to choose wrong for yourself. So I'm going to say, from a message force, take some time to drop these intuitive hits and decisions into your heart space. Listen to your body. How does it feel when you say, okay, when I'm choosing this direction or that choice, how does it feel in my body? Do I get tingling sensations? Do I get a tightening in my chest? These are ways for us to understand ourselves a little bit better. If you start to feel constricted or tightened up, it's probably not the best choice for you. Whereas if you feel more expansive, and it feels exciting, it probably is. It doesn't mean it won't evoke any kind of fear, but it's probably more connected to you on a soul level than the one that feels more constricting. But yeah, you're getting the opportunity to really receive wisdom and answers that will help you choose, get out of that uncertainty, come out from the depths, as this card says. Ooh. Your strengths and weaknesses are being tested. I imagine that's probably frustrating to see. But, I feel like this doesn't happen to us to create problems, or because it's like, it can feel like a punishment always, or not always, but often. It can feel like a punishment when we feel like we're being tested. But I think it's a way for us to be strengthened and fortified, to really be standing in our convictions and really understand ourselves when we're faced with a lot of options and we feel like we're being tested on all these different levels. It's to know thyself best, to disregard and release what really isn't us and actually start following our heart and our soul more. So framing something that feels frustrating and overwhelming, or like, why does this keep happening? Why can't things just be easy? Framing it in the way of, this is to strengthen and fortify me, can really help with making decisions instead of feeling, frustrated that you're being dealt this kind of a hand right now. Yeah, your strengths and weaknesses are being tested. And I really feel like it's happening for you, not to you, even though it doesn't feel like that. I don't think for a lot of you. I really think it's that you can start making all kinds of choices and decisions yourself from that heart and soul center, rather than just your mind or logic necessarily, where you feel more clear in yourself. Let's pull a surrender card here for you guys. I also want to say, like, something I'm just thinking and feeling for my group 4s right out of the gate is that you're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. And I think maybe some of these tests, so to speak, are to prove that to you, to hold the mirror up and say, see how you've survived everything that life's thrown at you up to this point in your life. Now is no different. And when we choose the road less traveled, but that is more aligned with us, it's going to bring obstacles and sticky situations, but you're entirely capable of moving through that. Surrender to non-action, which makes sense, right? Because we see her sitting there connecting to her intuition, really listening to it, trusting what's coming through, even though it's not necessarily provable at this stage. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. There you go. That's a really good piece of wisdom and information. You don't need to go towards anyone. You don't have to be picking all these different directions, say, I have to go here, I have to go there, and then getting confused about which direction to take. Something's being brought to you. All you need to do is trust yourself, understand yourself, believe in the intuitive guidance that you receive, and it's like things start to unfold more naturally. Serendipitous. It's something about serendipity for you guys. There's some sort of serendipity wanting to be shipped your way. Let others come to you. And I think that they absolutely will in some way, shape, or form for my message 4s. Let's pull some more cards here. Songs have been coming through a lot for me in each of these readings. And for you guys, it's that I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. I feel like that's what this up from the depths is speaking to. That kind of clarity showing up for you. It's interesting too, right? Because this female in the surrender to non-action has that unicorn horn, right? Third eye activation, seeing clearly from your third eye. Maybe do some third eye meditations, clearings, because you will receive, just like she's got her eyes closed and she's got the moon on her third eye. And then we've got the unicorn horn here and she's got her eyes closed. I think something about your third eye wants to be activated in a very big way under this lunation. Seeing the truth. You might experience images coming through. Acceptance, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because we see let others come to you, except I'm right here, right now is where I'm meant to be. It's a place of profound learning. It feels like for you. Starry night. Stargazing too, I think, could be really beneficial for a lot of you. Butterfly spirit and transformation. Big changes are on the way. Ooh, wild rose fairy and love. You know, I almost feel like for a lot of you, with that testing your strengths and weaknesses, allowing people to come to you, this is that you don't necessarily have to act or choose a direction, right? If you're feeling confused, oh, I just got to choose for the sake of choosing. No, this energy of love, expansion, connection, knowing what to do, seeing the truth around something and having people show up for you is probably really, it's like uncharted territory for you, but this is what wants to be thrown to you. This is what wants to come your way. I also think just on a more metaphorical level, that wild rose fairy and love connected to intuition, it's that feeling you get when you've hit on something intuitively that feels expansive in your heart, like love. That's an energy to trust. That feeling, the feeling of that expansiveness coming through in the heart space. Owl spirit and wisdom. Yep. Wisdom wanting to be shipped away, the expansiveness of heart, third eye energy. All this wants to show up for you guys. And remember, it leads to that a transformative energy where you don't feel so stuck in difficulty and not knowing what to do in confusion. Love this. Wow. And it's the number 11 and it's dragon and power. I think you're about to be activating a lot of intuitive power, spiritual connection, making space for that, expanding your third eye, your heart, bringing in that feeling of love, connection, and wisdom. All this wants to be activated for you under this lunation. where it won't be so hard for you to make a decision or to move in a direction. It's going to be quite clear, and it won't feel like you've had to force anything. And it's like, as you follow that heart's wisdom and resonance, things start to come to you. People start to come to you, and it seems a lot lighter and a lot easier. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull some more tarot cards. Look on the bottom too, frog spirit renewal. That's cleansing energy. So maybe creating some sort of a ritual where you release yourself from this need to have all the answers, to feel like you're urgently being pushed to make a decision even when it doesn't feel good or you're not quite ready for it. Renewal is about to happen for you. But I think creating some sort of ritual around this could be really beneficial. But this is what's on the cards for you. Renewal. Transformation and renewal. Let's pull some tarot cards here. Just a few from my beautiful message fours. You know, I'm also noticing too, I don't know why, but I'm so attracted to this woman in the blue dress and the woman in the red dress. So something about a feminine energy. And you know, with blue, that's that intuitive, emotional, almost maternal, nurturing type energy versus that creative, passionate, empowered energy. I feel like there's something that happens here with this intuitive connection that brings these into balance again for you. Those pieces of yourself. Okay. The Chariot, yeah. I think there's been frustration with slow-moving energy, things not happening, making you feel like you have to force something to happen. You've got to get things going, that you can't just simply breathe and let others come to you. And this is the energy that's trying to be slowed down right now. Yeah, the Empress in reverse, allowing that slow growth of creativity, birthing that new thing, that renewal energy. It's been difficult for you. I feel like this is more of a suggestion. It's time to turn this around. It's happening. You've got the creativity. You're going to receive the power and the wisdom. The only thing that can really stop this from happening for you is going too much into overthinking, frustration, hitting that panic button and making fast and hasty decisions. Yeah. And there we have the Lovers in reverse. That's that yin-yang energy as well, where there's been imbalance. This could be letting me know here, or some of you know, that if this was your issue where you've been trying to push on making a connection happen or putting yourself out there and just feeling urgently rushed to find your person, this is suggesting you don't need to be the one rushing out to find the person. They're going to come to you. Once we've worked on ourselves, intuitively disconnected from what isn't true, what we aren't, and connected to what is true for us, magically the universe starts aligning everything up and our person starts to show up. But I think for others, it's just the suggestion that we've been out of balance, out of sync with our yin-yang energy. And because there's so much feminine energy here, I feel like for a lot of you, it's that feminine aspect of yourself where you feel intuitively connected, where you're trusting your heart, where you're letting it lead. And we're nurturing and cultivating things on a more intuitive level. It feels like that for you guys. Okay, actually, I was going to put this down, but I love to see this. 9 of Swords in reverse on the bottom of the deck, coming out of that mental heaviness, right? This is coming to an end. The opportunity to end this anguish, overwhelm, overthinking, frustration, feeling like nothing's going the way that you want it to, and your thoughts getting carried away was in the reverse. You are about to move out of this energy. The opportunity to release yourself from this is now. Under this lunation, it's going to be the beginning point, I think, for you guys to unstick yourself from here. Yeah. All right. Let me just cap this off with a final message here for my beautiful message fours. I realized too, we've got the dark and the light horse there too. And then we've got the male and the female. That yin yang energy really strong here. And I think that this lunation is saying, okay, we're going to bring you into balance again, sort you out, have your third eye and your heart expand in the best possible way to start lining you up with the universal energy that wants to ship these people or this person towards you. Self-criticism. That Nine of Swords in reverse, releasing yourself from self-criticism. We, your angels, ask you to please be more compassionate toward yourself. Observe the times when you have critical thoughts about you and make an effort to replace these negative thoughts with positive, loving ones. You are a wondrous being of light, even if at times you think you are less than perfect. Remember that God and the divine perfection exists in all things. Yeah, time to release yourself from these thoughts, these patterns, these negative narratives. I think for some of you, it's made you choose less than what you deserve, especially by way of love and connection. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be with friends and just situations and communities. Looking at this, having an intuitive foresight come through for you at this time to show you the way through that is likely to show up for you guys. It's going to help you unstick, release difficulty, let go of those thought patterns, and start moving you into your power again, right? Like the dragon energy there. Wisdom coming through really loud. Love, clarity, clairvoyance for a lot of you. But take the time to surrender to non-action. No need to push or to force, just allow. And I think you'll be surprised at what comes through and what you receive, the clarity. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And I hope all of you have the most amazing new moon in Pisces and a fabulous day. Take care, guys.